I was so proud to be here this morning with my colleagues to work hard to bring Ontario back on track. Earlier this morning, the Honourable Minister of Finance delivered a rousing speech in which he encouraged all members to fill out the Planning for Prosperity online consultation survey. The Minister of Finance said, "Bring the ideas to help return prosperity to Ontario. Don't fight these ideas. Join us." It is the responsibility of all of us in this House to be stewards of public finances and to ensure that we leave a stable foundation for future generations to build upon, and not a legacy of debt like that of the former government. Can the President of the Treasury Board please inform the House what the government is doing to ensure that Ontario continues to be prosperous now and into the future?
President of the Treasury Board.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member from Mississauga Centre for that very excellent question. I too appreciated the comments this morning about our planning for prosperity consultations. Friday is the last day for submissions, so I encourage everyone, regardless of party affiliation, to submit their comments. Working closely with my friend, the Minister of Finance, and with the full support of the Premier, I can assure this House that we are taking our responsibility for putting Ontario back on track seriously. Every action we take, every bill we make, has as a goal the difficult task of getting our province back on track and repairing 15 years of financial...
Opposition come to order.
As for the planning for prosperity consultations, together we can work towards a stronger, more prosperous Ontario.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, back to the President of the Treasury Board. The former government sold Ontario up the creek without a paddle. Through poor fiscal and program management, they let the people of Ontario down. The NDP, instead of opposing this recklessness, voted with the government 97% of the time. The NDP enabled the recklessness of the previous government. As a result, Ontario spends more on interest payments on the provincial debt than it does on the entire Ontario public service, or on all of post-secondary education and training. Quite simply, we are robbing future generations on interest payments alone and saddling them with a devastating burden of debt. Can the President of the Treasury Board please advise this House what the government is doing to get public spending back under control?
Good question. President of the Treasury Board.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for another well-informed question. Aside from the financial inquiry, a line-by-line audit of the public books, and a discretionary spending freeze, we also wanted to consult the people. That's why we launched the Planning for Prosperity consultation, which closes this Friday. I'm pleased to inform the House that the people continue to submit ideas, with almost 15,000 individual ideas submitted so far. Some, Mr. Speaker, I suspect from the other side of the House. The people of Ontario have called for a government that listens, and we have answered that call. To all those people out there struggling to make ends meet, to all the business owners who are suffering, to all the families that have expenses ever climbing, I say this: we are listening, and help is on the way.